Hello, this is Julie Silver Stitches here on FlossTube and on Instagram. Thank you for joining me today. It is Sunday, November 9th, 2025. Welcome. Here I am for my weekly update. I did work on 10 different projects. If you hear banging, my cats are all awake, so who knows what's going to happen. Skitters has definitely decided to try and get onto the couch, so here he might come, and I have things balancing, so we'll see how it goes. If James wakes up and realizes how much snow has fallen, we're gonna have to go out and shovel before I continue, but that's okay. So far so good. Let me fix my sweaters just so that it doesn't bother some people, aka Julie. Anyway, I am in Eastern Ontario, Canada, and I am welcoming you from wherever you are in the world. I hope that everything is as good as possible. And here we go. So I spent all day out yesterday, all day outside. So this is the sun-kissed cheeks of fall. I don't know. We were raking all day. Anyway, so because snow is coming today. So far only a couple millimeters, I think, but it's supposed to get up to like 20 centimeters maybe by the end of the snowfall, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, so I worked on 10 different projects. I had a lot of different milestones, but definitely let me count. 1, 2, 3 definite milestones. Sorry. Okay. I'll try this all again. We're going to start out with what I was working on for Christmas this year. This is from the Cross Stitch Christmas 2024 edition. I'm very close. Am I not very close? This is a little... We'll see how that goes. I am very close, but I can't. Anyway, welcome to the yellow bag. I tried to not get it in frame, but that's not happening. So, before I show you what it is, what it currently looks like, I will show you the photo cover. So, this is The North Wind. It is by... Well, that's a quiet place. It is by Witch's Garden Crafts. And if anybody is interested, it's on page 77, 78, and 79 of Just Cross Stitch Christmas 2024. Yeah. Okay. Enough about that. Did not get as much as I wanted, but at least I finished another house. So that's 2 houses now. I did change out the yellow. For those of you who remember my debacle about the bright yellow, it is now a darker toned yellow, so it's not as I'm here. Welcome. Like I said, not going as fast as I wanted it to, but I figure if I keep putting stitches in, see where it is by Christmas, this person that I'm giving it to is definitely a-okay with late Christmas gifts. I don't know that for a fact, but we're going with it until proven otherwise. But who knows? It's a couple weeks till Christmas, so I might just, take it out and work on it nonstop until then. So that is number 1. Number 2, how did you start? I decided that I wanted to really stitch Christmas this week. So here we go. This is Fireplace Christmas by Artisy. I think I have it on my other phone. Hold on. I just gotta locate said other phone. It was down here. There it is. Oh man. Alright, Fireplace Christmas is by Artisy, and it will look like this in the end. View mock-up. It will look like this. So I'm just starting up here in the top left corner. And I'm doing it on a 20 peak a 20 count pre-girded Ada. That seems to be my favorite now. 20 count pre-gridded, definitely for the full coverages. I got 461 stitches in, which I don't know if I have a percentage, but that's that. I am taking the top color, bringing it all the way. So there was no before picture because this is a new start, not one of my milestones. Before my new plans start, I'll get to those. Before my new plans start, I will finish the 500. Just that day, I had put in the full 461, so that was a lot of stitching for me that day, on one project. But I wanted to see how far I could get it going across the top row, because I want to finish the top row before I go back down to another one. I've been watching a lot of Max Color Stitcher, and that is how she stitches, and so then that's how I want to stitch, because, you know, why not? Anyways. Okay, so to carry on with the Christmas stitching, this is Christmas Gnomes by Box and Fox. I've learned that I need to slow down in talking because I talk really fast on these. And so I need to find the picture of the mock-up. There it is. So Box and Fox, Christmas Gnomes. This is currently now at, I put in 355 stitches to get to 2,000. So here I am. This is now 2,000 stitches into this project, so that is a milestone, at 8.89%. So what I did previously was this swoosh of blue, like the light blue. So I added all of this. I added also a whole lot of white stitches just to get them out of the way, because Julian White on white is not a fan, so just trying to get those stitches done as equally as possible, I should say. So stitch some colors, stitch a bunch of white, stitch some colors, stitch a bunch of white. Yeah. So that's project number 3. So that had a milestone, 2,000 stitches. Project number 4, because I kind of fell off the Christmas stitching, I think, at this point, but had a whole new outlook on life. Dragon in the Morning. I'll talk about plans after, but Dragon in the Morning was next. I had only put in 32 stitches, but that was to round me up to the closest 500. No, the closest ending in the 50s. But in the end, this was the closest to the 500. So, I'm so close to getting all of those parked threads on this corner parked through, but this is the whole thing so far. If I can try and see where I am with the thing. All right, so this is where I am so far. All the way across the top row. This is the top 5 blocks. And this piece. So this fabric started out just like every other fabric, being super crunchy, right? And now I've been working on it for so long that this is now no longer crunchy fabric. Okay, so I don't know why I'm being so particular today. Hey, look at that, look at this. Okay, ta-da! Hey, that's good. Okay, so I put in only 32 stitches, but now we are at 15,500. And that is 14.63%. So that's good. Almost done, like I said, almost done with the parked threads. So the next time I pick it up, parked threads, and then I'll start at the top, go across with the typewriter parking method of Stitch and Mummy by going across the 10 by 10 grids like Max Stitcher, because I'm a copycat and I just want to do what everybody else is doing apparently, which is okay. All right. I'm going to save that for later. Hold up. Yeah, okay. So, the next thing on the pile, at least, is Snow Leopard. Snow Leopard is by Artisy, and did I show you what Dragon in the Morning looks like? Not at all, eh? I know you know what it looks like if you've been watching me for a long time, but if you're just new today, thank you for stopping in. There has been a few new subscribers within the last few days. So this is Dragon in the Morning by Heaven and Earth Design, Randall Spangler. That was at 14.63% at the 15,500 stitches. So I've worked all the way across the top. Now I'm just filling in everything else. Okay, so this is Snow Leopard by Artisy. I think I passed it. There it is. Okay, Snow Leopard by Artisy. This is a project that I started some time ago, but still yeah. So we're at 1,750. I put in 33 stitches to get it to that 50 mark. So that is good. We are on our way to continuing just filling in all of the grays. So this is at 6.19% of the whole piece. And like I said, 1,750 stitches. That is out of 28,260. Not that I've been telling you for anything else. All right, next up on the pile is Autumn Fairies. Autumn Fairies is a piece by Heaven and Earth Design. It is it is designed by the artist. The artist is it even here? The artist is Karen Middleton, and I'm going to go into my, there it is. So that's purple if you can see it. There we go. The artist is Karen Middleton. It was a freebie from a very long time ago. And I had put in 26 stitches to get to 7,050. So here we go. I added a lot. My 26 stitches were up here in the green. So this is the full piece. It is currently at 38.11%. And I added my 26 stitches of this 906. Come on. Anyway. And that's where we're at for that. So this is slowly going, but hopefully it will pick up. Yes, I think it will. Because I have a plan. Did I tell you I had a plan? I'll tell you about the new plan after, because it's very exciting. Thank you, Siske, for getting me on board, because anyways, thank you, Siske. All right, I think my thing is going to be Siske made me do it. Okay. Up next is Sunset Owl by Artisy. Sunset Owl looks like this. Of course, it's not in the thing. Nope, not camera. Come on now. Sunset Owl looks like this. There it is. It was a freebie by Artisy. I think it was one of their first AI pieces, so that's okay. James just woke up and realized that it was potentially snowing out, so I might need to stop this for a few. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so Sunset Owl. And so this is where I got with Sunset Owl. I made it to 3,000 stitches. So that's milestone number 2. Like I said, this is an AI chart by Artisy. This is now at 7.50%. And so I color completed one color, and then I'm starting again, top to bottom, on another color. Whatever's hanging right here. It's one of the 38, 34s, I think. Anyway, the last thing that I actually physically worked on this week was Mini Watching the World Go By Lucy Pittaway of Heaven and Earth Design. It is currently now retired, but you can get it through Bothy Threads through a chart, through a kit form. So, no, I don't want, why didn't it stay on the, anyways, life happens. It is not actually there. Okay, anyway, here we go. Let's go like this. Ba, 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 da, 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 da. Where is the, there it is. View mock-up. So this is what it's going to look like in the end. It's, yeah, so I will show you, but it has finished. I finished along down here. So I finally connected the whole thing with a current 77 stitches to get to 41,000. 41,000. So, milestone number 3, 41,000 stitches at 80.99%. So this is the whole thing. Slow and steady keeps this race going. I worked down here this time. This was this morning. So I'm rounding the corner to go back up. So I put in 77 stitches to go around that corner. It was, so now it's fully completed, that corner. Not, it was kind of looking like this, where it was half and half and half and half, just coloring in the stitches as they went, but now I'm fully completed. So yes, 80.99%. So that's exciting. All right, so now on to the new plans, because, you know, old plans are always so much, you know, old school, old. Okay, let me clean all this stuff up and I'll come right back. Hold on. Okay, so as you could tell, I was working mostly full coverage this week, right? That was the plan. Last week I did digital. Last week I was doing paper patterns. This week I'm doing, I was doing digital patterns. I'm sticking with the digital patterns. They make me the happiest, even though I was super excited with all of the progress that I made with the paper patterns. But here we go. So I chose, Siske made me do it. In her last video, yeah, I watched her Friday morning. Okay, so in her last video, she claims that she decided that she got hooked into this FlossTuber frenzy situation. What has come to be by the Alchemist Stitcher. Okay, good. The Alchemist Stitcher created a game where she chooses so many FlossTubers and works on a certain project depending on whether they posted a video on it or not, whether there's X amount of projects, whether there's new starts. So many different Stitchers have decided to jump on this FlossTuber frenzy wagon, and apparently I'm the next one. So everything that you saw from my last segment is all included in there. I am going to go over who I'm stitching for what, but here's the breakdown of how Julie is going to work this. So I'm gonna hold, please. Okay, sorry. This is how I'm going to work this. If these FlossTubers posted a video that is between 0 and 30 minutes, 50 stitches, 50, are going to go into their piece. So it's going to be 50 stitches for every half an hour. So this guy right here is Simon, just so you know. Okay, so if somebody's posting a video that is 27 minutes, that's 50 stitches. If somebody's posting a video that's like 33 minutes, that's 100 stitches. And so on and so forth. So if it crosses that 30-minute mark, then it's an extra 50 stitches, just because, I don't know. I'm not a fast stitcher, but I want progress on all of these different whips. So I chose 16 different full coverage pieces that I want to see progress on, that I want to see finished, compared to I just want to work on kind of thing. So FlossTube itchy nose. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to go through all of them again, because why not? That is Simon and his little cute face, and he's cleaning his face, and that's very cute. Okay, so absent-minded stitchers, Terry and Joe. I just went in alphabetical order. I didn't choose a project that reminded me of them, or that I'm stitching with them, or whatever. So Autumn Fairies. Autumn Fairies for the absent-minded stitchers. Alphabetical order. So if they tend to post 2 videos a week, so depending on how long their regular update video is, then it'll be anywhere between 100 to 150 stitches a week, because they also film these either Stitch With Me's, or they film a short, like, one person, this is what I'm working on, versus, anyways, you should go check them out. They're very, very funny. Okay. They work on mostly non-full coverage. Terry works on a few full coverage, but mostly all non-full coverage. They play games, they do things. I might stick with some of the games that I was playing before, but we'll see if they fit into the schedule. Adelaide Stitches. She is out of Australia, and she gets to work on Mini Beginner Seashell. This is by Kayomi Harai. Where did I put the phone that had all the pictures? Anybody? Okay. Mini Beginner Seashell by Kayomi Harai. Is it in my pictures? There she is. Alright. Whoa, jeebers. Alright, there she is. Right now, I am having no goal. I don't have any stats for her. So, oh, this is not what that is. Oh, man. Wrong pile. Okay. That doesn't feel like it. I know I put it in here. There it is. Oh, goodness me. Alright, so Adelaide Stitches works mostly on non-full coverage. She stitches seasonally. There's like one theme per month kind of thing. So this is where I'm at for Mini Beginner Seashell. So the goal for this week, I'm not playing yet per se. I'm making everything rounded up to the latest 50. So everything I'm showing you, if I hadn't already showed you, I'll be working on this week, because I'm just catching up to everything rounded off to the closest 50. If it makes it so that I'm like 150 stitches away from reaching the 1,000 mark, then I will do that. If I'm, the 150 away from stitching the 500 mark, then I'll do that. But otherwise, I'll just stitch the next 50 and call it a day. And so I'll continuously be getting 50 to 100 stitches depending on, or 200 stitches depending on how long your video is. All right, so Alara, mostly a full covered stitcher, is going to be working on Christmas Fireplace. So I already showed you that. That was in the 20 count Ada that I had 461 stitches of. So I'm going to continue that and round it up to the 500 mark. Christmas Gnomes is the next one. So, sorry, Alara, I did not talk about you at all. So Alara is a mostly full coverage stitcher, lots of different projects, but also she stitches on non-full coverage as well, but likes to focus on the full coverage. Lives somewhere in the States, and that's all I got. Posts depending on, weekly to bi-weekly, sometimes monthly, so all of these stitchers are relatively consistent with their stitches. So sometimes I'll show you what I have, other times I'll just show you what, everybody, or maybe it'll just be, 4 or 5 people because they are the constant people that stitch every week, film every week. All right, so Lara, the Alchemist Stitcher, is the stitcher who chose to do this whole thing. So she needed to go on my list. That was going to be, this is going to be for Christmas Gnomes. It was supposed to be in that pile, but it could. Anyway, that's this one, where I'm currently already at 2,000 stitches. With all the gnomes and currently MIA. I don't know what happened to it. I mean, I've been sitting here the whole time. It's this one, Christmas Gnomes. Dragon in the Morning. So the Alchemist Stitcher, yes, came up with it. Lives in California, I think, Southern California. Originally lived in Germany, I think. Family moved over. Anyway, she's been here in North America for a while. Anyways, stitches also on full coverage. I'm choosing kind of mostly all full coverage so that I can keep up the I can do it mentality while watching them, or I'm maybe not going to be watching them specifically while I'm working on their project, but we'll see how it goes. Busy Mom Stitcher is the next one. It's going to be Dragon in the Morning by Randall Spangler. Is this one? DM's, so Busy Mom Stitcher, also full coverage and non-full coverage, but she mostly focuses on full coverage during the week. She has a few non-full coverage that she continuously spins wheels for, and so every day she spins a wheel, and it's usually daily themes, or daily artists, or so each week is a different project per se, but it's all within that particular artist or company each week. So the next one is DM's Crafty Vortex. Dawn Marie is is again mostly a full coverage stitcher, although she just started a chatelaine not too long ago, and it's looking great. This is very warm right now. We have the furnace on. Anyways, mostly full coverage stitcher. She's working on portals. She's working on a few other different things. She just restarted portals and finally got caught up to where she last She started it, didn't like how it was working, stitching up, so she changed the whole thing. So now she's currently at the same part as where she left off on the anyways, go watch her, she's great. So Galaxy Gazing Galaxy Gazing is a design by Heaven and Earth Designs. It is also charted by Michelle. Designed, well, the artist, I guess, was her daughter. And so I'm doing a cropped version that I'll post up here because I still don't have it anywhere else on any other device. So anyway, 700 stitches currently into a 20 count 2 over 1 full cross. In Stitches with Ebony, I just started watching her not too long ago because everyone is watching her and I felt like I should be watching her too. So that's what's happening. And she is also a mostly full coverage, if not full coverage stitcher, from what I've seen. So for her, it's a small one, but it's Hidden Disability Sunflower. This is a design by a random stitcher who sadly, I'm so sad, decided to just stop filming FlossTubes for a while at least, so that's why she's not on the list. But yeah, in Stitches with Ebony gets this mini one because still stitches are stitches. This needs to get finished. It is quite small compared to everything else, but full coverage nonetheless. So I'm just working my way around, and then the next color I see fit, I'll work around and work around and work around. All right, Moon Witch for Jen the Craftinated Crafter. Moon Witch is by Artisy. Apparently I go through like 2 different companies. Okay, Artisy, and this is what she's going to look like in the end. Jen the Caffeinated Crafter films weekly, and big plans, big games, big goals per week. So that's why I'm not trying to stitch on, oh, she stitched 15 projects, so I have to stitch 150 per project. I'm not doing that. That's why I decided to just stick 50 stitches to each half an hour, because I would be stitching all week on Jen's things, I think, if that was the case. But via mock-up. But she is mostly full coverage, but then sprinkles in all of the paper patterns that are not full coverage. So very, very, I love Jen. Jen is great. She's inspirational for sure. Okay, so this is where I am for, this was a new start a couple weeks ago, during the Halloween Need to Stitch Everything Halloween era. So not far along at all, but I'm sure it will catch up with Jen when she films, because she films Sunday mornings. So probably by the time I'm done this and be able to edit and upload and all things, she will also have hers filmed as well. So once a week. Jessie Marie Does Stuff is for the next stitch. The next stitch is Pokemon Starters. This is the only one that somehow goes hand in hand. Jessie Marie is a gamer. She likes to, geek out on everything. So hopefully, me and my Pokemon Starters will, make me want to continue working on it, because when Jessie Marie is talking about all of the things, she started a new game recently, so I'm very intrigued on to see how that's going in her next video. Mostly full coverage, but again sprinkled with non-full coverage here and there, but mostly full coverage. Has been around for, seems like forever. She is the creator of WhipGo. She is the creator of a whole lot of different things. She's started to, you know, the Great British Bake Off. I don't know if she came up with it or if she's just added so many rules and stuff to it that, you know, anyways, fantastic. The next stitcher is Lala D Stitches. I'm trying to associate the pattern. Okay, so Lala, can I show you on my tablet? Okay, let's try and do that. So, Lala D Stitches is a stitcher who stitches mostly the pretty things. All of the ladies, all the pretty charts. I don't know what else to say. Anyway, so I am working on Red Maple Fairy, if I can make it turn. Okay, there we go. Whoo, shush. Anyway, Red Maple Fairy, she looks probably way better in Stitched World, but that's the mock-up. I still don't know if Jasmine Beckett Griffith comes up with these fairies, but I don't know about that mask between her eyes. I can't, we'll see how it stitches up. But for now, I'm only just started the first, you know, diagonal of 20 kind of thing. So we'll see how that goes. Laura stitches, like I said, everything pretty. So she's definitely a sampler girl. She likes to play with colors. So hopefully she films every so often. She tries, I think, for a set schedule, but life happens, right? So she is also very much into quilting. So there's that. Okay, so, because she also does like a quilt with me, not a quilt with me, but like a quilt tube, like, so she'll do one that's all about cross stitch, and then she'll do one video like opposite, like going back and forth with quilting. So, yeah. The stitches. Okay, so Marika Stitches is out of Sweden. She is mostly full coverage stitcher than from what I've seen. She also does a lot of smalls, like all of the Mill Hills, so it all varies. It all varies on what she wants to stitch at the time. She's pretty much an everything stitcher, but every time I tune in, there's always something new, and she is such a prolific stitcher that there's always so many stitches that she's added to all of her different projects. Most times there's at least a couple finishes, so very, very inspirational. So because this one is not so far along, Sleepy Turtle is an artist from, so Sleepy Turtle looks like this. I have cropped it from the original picture. I don't have the original picture anymore, but this is where we're at. Sleepy Turtle is a piece that is, the artist is Tammy Blevins of Facebook. I know she's probably on Instagram too, but anyway, this is where I'm at. 2 over 1 full cross. Max Color Stitcher, I've also just recently started watching. To dedicate 500 stitches per project on every single piece you work on. That's intense. I can't focus that long on, what am I trying to find? Oh, that's because it's already been shown. Okay. It's this one. Okay, so, sorry. So, Anne is from Australia, and she, again, mostly stitches on full coverage. That's all I've seen. Snow Leopard is her chart because, again, just going in alphabetical order. And Snow Leopard looks like I've already shown you, but just to refresh your memories. Come on. Alright, Snow Leopard. So she's into cats, and this is a cat, so even though it's a big cat, this is where we're at again. Snow leopard. So not max colors, but at the same point, gonna be beautiful. Alright, so the one who got me into all of this, because she finally convinced me that Siske Stitches needs to be, of course, one of my people, because I've decided that I watch her constantly and she films once a week. Sometimes she does lives, sometimes she does Stitch with me's, but mostly it's just the consistent once a week Friday filming. Anyway, here we are. This is Steampunk Portal. And I'll see if I have a picture of the full thing on here. There it is. Do you think that was a knock at the door? I don't know. If so, they'll knock again. Alright, so this is Steampunk Portal. And Steampunk Portal is the 2024... lies. Steampunk Portal is the 2025 Stitch Along from Heaven and Earth Design. Oh boy, and that is sideways because this goes at the top. Come on now. Alright, so I will see if I can get stitches added to this one because I do want to see it finished. I'm not in a rush. I'm not looking for any goals by the time, because this is only still page 1, so I'm not getting anywhere. As for the 2026 Stitch Along, tempting. It's very tempting. I don't feel like I need any more full coverage. I feel like I have so many to choose from already. So many that I haven't started yet, so I don't know. But I really like the Wise and the Brave. Or the Stone Keeps. The Cottage Story. The Cottage. I really like the Cottage, or I really like the Owl and the Little Bird. And that is what I would be stitching. We'll see how that goes, though. So far, holding off. Plus, don't have money to purchase it, so therefore, you know, simple. Anyway, Siske is a creator of a lot of different things, mostly full coverage. There are a few things that are not full coverage, but mostly full coverage. She's got all of the plans with all of the games, with all of the things. She also has a Facebook group, and you can, join in on all the games. There's, on her Facebook group, there is like a word of the week that you can stitch. I can't remember the name of it, of course, right now, because, we're on the filming. Word of the week, there's a Glamorous 3 that you stitch on 3 projects, and she's rolling for what you stitch for that week. All of the different boards you can think of. She's doing a whole lot of different games right now, but right now I think she's primarily focused on FlossTuber Frenzy. Anyway, also great. She is from Belgium. Fantastic. Alright, so the next one is Small Town Stitches. This one I actually share a whip with, because that's how it goes. That magically, due to the alphabet. This one is at 43,000 stitches, so I didn't need to put in any stitches for this to be at the closest 50. So Sunflower Stitches, Mini Sunflower Stitches is by Donna Gelsinger of Heaven and Earth Design. And the drip is kind of near the top. So that's this one. So Leanne from Small Town Stitches, again, mostly works on full coverage, with a few scattered non-full coverages just to keep life interesting in the mix. Mostly films, she tries every 2 weeks, but sometimes life happens, just like the rest of us, but where are we at? So yeah, so this is where we're at. This originally was my cancer project. I have spoken to Leanne a little bit about that journey as well, so kind of links in again with all of those things. So, okay, so next thing is the sunset owl that I have previously showed you. Nope. Same. And when I do film next time, and I am showing all of these things, there are two projects. This one and this one. Okay. Their fabrics are slightly different, but I can't remember which is which, and I don't want to tell you the wrong things. So again, this one is next. This is for Stitchin' Mummy, who is also a mostly everything stitcher, but she focuses sometimes on full coverage a lot of the time. So she is the stitcher who came up with, she has a temperature chart that she's released every year. She's also the stitcher that came up with the, I don't know if she came up with it, but the typewriter method that a lot of us use. She travels her stitches, but I can't count, so therefore I'm sticking to my 10 by 10 grids. Lots of different types of stitching. She stitches a lot of the beautiful ladies. She stitches a lot of the great. So just go watch her if you're not already watching her, because wow, whoa. All right, so last one is a milestone stitch. I've already showed it to you this week, but the last stitcher on my FlossTube Frenzy list is Tess Stitches. She's also out of Australia. She has had a bumpy 2025, but at the same point, she's still here. She's still going. She released a video on Friday, I think, essentially saying she's back. So I'm hoping she is. She was actually on this channel, she was my first follower. So we have that kind of somehow random connection, although she is all the way across the world. But we talk a lot of the time on Instagram. So, and she's the one that has been kind of pushing me for this project the whole way through. Like, you can do it, no worries. So that is Mini Dragon and Watching the World Go By, which is this one. So yeah, so every time I don't know how I'm going to work it, so maybe like from the week before, that's how many stitches, or I see that I don't know how it's going to work yet, how I'm going to track the stitches of when am I going to do like, okay, so these people, you know, posted on Sunday, so on Monday I'll work on that. You know, I don't know how that's all going to work yet. So I hope you are going to stick around for the next little segment, because it's going to be like the wrap up, and we'll see how that goes. Hold on. Okay, so my plans for the rest of this week: shoveling snow, working on as many projects as I can. I know that tomorrow, Monday, we need to go get blood work for James. I think and then I work Monday night, Tuesday night. I think on Wednesday we are going back over to somebody's house to do some drywalling. So I'm not really quite sure how much work I'll get done on cross stitch that day, but we'll see how that goes. I do want to plan on working on the either this one or See You Later by Happiness. It is a Etsy chart that I'm planning on finishing for Christmas, but we'll see, because I only have 2 out of the, I think it's 9 things that are like, anyways, it's currently in the box beside me, so I'm not getting it out, but that's the plan for that. Keeping up on FlossTuber Frenzy. If I don't feel like, or if I have caught up already on all of those stitches, then maybe I'll go back to temperature, the train game, all in the cards, because I still have all of the rest of the stitching that I want to do as well, not just work on these 16 projects. It might be a busy week. It might be not a busy week. I didn't really stitch at all. I only really stitched Friday. Totally didn't stitch yesterday. Kind of stitched on Thursday this week, and I stitched on Tuesday. Not a lot of stitching happened because all of my numbers this week were like the catch-up game to catch up to the closest 50. So it didn't really, let's see if I can get more stitches in is what I'm trying to say for this week. Because last week I was a little, in my head I was a little all over the place. It was a little bit, anyways. So I hope that you enjoy what you're stitching. I hope that you enjoy your weather outside, whatever that may be. Be safe, be happy, and thank you for watching and subscribing. Leave a comment down below if any of these projects interested you. If you want to kind of cheer me on about the different projects that I'm working on, that's great too, because then I know that what I'm showing on my FlossTube channel, people actually want to see, not just what I'm stitching and what is interesting to me. If there is a chart that you know of that you're like, hey, you haven't worked on XYZ in so long, how about that? Maybe I'll incorporate it into the plans, or I'll let you know that, don't worry, it is in the plan now. It's in the plan of random stitches that I'm going to do this week. Is that it? Did you see enough cats? I know Simon is over there, like on the couch over here, just all curled up in a little ball, partially sleeping, partially not. Skitters is not there. He's sleeping on the chair over there. Charlotte is, of course, sleeping on the bed beside James because she feels like Mummy has taken up so much of that space. Like all night long, I need to sleep beside Daddy now. Anyways, I hope you are having a great day. I know that it is now Sunday afternoon, so we'll see what the snow is doing outside, if we actually have to go out and shovel or not yet. I don't think so, but I hope that you have a great rest of your week. I will, again, check in next week, next Sunday. That's the plan. So, sparkle and shine. Have a great day. I will see everybody next time. Bye, everybody.